All right, I'm going to go over the last couple episodes of Theo's podcast. I haven't made a Theo video in a while, or maybe ever, just a Theo video. Which, I don't know, I guess probably because there's not always that much, drama, really, surrounding Theo. Because he's just, a general, all-around kind of, nice guy who doesn't, cause controversy, you know? He's not like all the other comedians, in his little clique or whatever. But I need to make more videos on Theo because he is such a good dude. And he just has good content, I guess he puts out. He's he's like a Joe Rogan light, except funny, you know? Because he gets a lot of the washouts after Rogan has seen him on his podcast. But then also, I'm going to talk about later, is he had Howie Mandel on. And that was hilarious. That was such a good podcast, which is the main reason why I wanted to make this video. And so, but yeah, I don't know. So Theo did another podcast though this week. The podcast was called, Biceps and Business and Biceps. I never heard of it before. I don't know. I guess it seemed like reading online, a lot of people have heard of it, but on YouTube, they only have 2,000 subscribers. Even their Instagram page is pretty small. I mean, every thought on Instagram has 5-6 times as many followers as they do. So it's kind of a small podcast. I'm not really sure how Theo ended up on there. Sounds like some of the people are used to be associated with the UFC, so maybe that's why. What I thought was kind of interesting though is that they also have sponsors on their podcast, but they have no subscribers. So that's kind of weird because even YouTube, you need to have 4,000 subscribers to monetize your channel. So you when you click on a video and you see ads, you have to have at least 4,000 subscribers now. They changed it last year, and that caused all kinds of drama. Apparently, I guess all kinds of people were upset about that and blah blah blah. I don't know, whatever. Who cares? But yeah, that was interesting. But apparently, I didn't watch the whole thing because it's just a bunch of guys sitting around in lounge chairs with weird headsets on, the microphone headset things. It's I don't know, it's Monday Night Football. Get the fuck out of here with these headsets. Just wear a normal, but buy a mic. I don't even use a mic. Obviously, the audio's shit. But, get a normal fucking mic like everybody else. What is the headset thing? This isn't fucking Monday Night Football, you know? I don't know. Whatever. But, yeah. So, I don't know. But they didn't really care too much for Brendan Schwab. They had some kind of, call-outs on there. Just kind of, it was low key shit talking about Brendan because the guys, at least one of the guys that was talking shit works for the UFC or used to work for the UFC, so he knows who Brendan is, but acted because he was talking about King of the Sting and kind of acted like he didn't know who Brendan was. So it's kind of weird. He's just throwing shade. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, kind of just everyone just calling out is you're kind of just carrying the weight with King of the Sting, which is true. I don't know if it seems kind of a mix. Brendan has some really serious hardcore fans, but most people, the general consensus is that Theo pretty much carries the King of the Sting podcast, which I'm gonna make another. They haven't posted a new video yet. I think 7's the newest one still. I'm gonna make another video on just the King of the Sting. I have my own thoughts on that. Theo's hilarious, but honestly, I don't really think that podcast is going to survive that long. It's too gimmicky, and it's already being played with dumbass questions oh, what do you think of this sport over this sport? Or what do you think of this color over? And I've called it out before in another video where it's going to just be people are already starting to game it to put in dumb shit oh, check out this chick. It was a porn star. It's flaunt my aunt, you know, rate my drip, and it's just some random fucking person. It's basically just it's gonna either end up getting them in trouble for talking shit on random people on the internet who they didn't agree to have their picture posted on there. Someone's gonna get pissed off about that, I'm sure. Or I don't know, they're just, who knows. It's gonna get old with just user submission stuff. Just it never really works out that well because it's just there's only so much content, you're quality content you're gonna get from that. People submitting questions to them where they're just trying to be silly is just gonna get it's gonna get old. I don't know. I mean, it's old to me already, but a lot of people still like it. I don't know. I think it'll wear on people though, hearing like just as the quality kind of degrades. I don't know. I hope they switch it up to not just be a segment show. You know, it's like this segment, done. There's no like natural conversation in the show. It's just rapid fire hot takes, one after another. So I don't know, whatever. This isn't really so much about that, and not making it about that. But let's talk about Howie Mandel on Theo's podcast though this past weekend. That was hilarious, and I get not everyone's gonna like his comedy, but to me, Howie seemed like just kind of naturally funny. Like he didn't have to force jokes. He wasn't like forcing skits. Like you see, like a lot of these comics when they go on other comedy podcasts, they really like force like an act, like especially like when they show up on like The Fighter and the Kid, right? Like they're really forcing like this act where it's like, oh, I gotta put on this show. Where he was just kind of naturally funny, just clowning on Theo super hard, clowning on callers like that were submitting videos and shit, just super hard. Just doesn't give a fuck about anything. It's just kind of naturally funny. Like he's not. It didn't seem like he was forcing any bits, I guess. And also, like, can we talk about how big of names Theo gets? Like, damn, Theo blew up so much last year. It's crazy. I mean, in the beginning of last year, almost nobody knew who Theo was. Then, you know, he gets his lucky breaks on going on Rogan, getting on T-Fat Kid, and just he's hilarious on those and blows up. Now he's interviewing, I mean, he's had some big names on his podcast. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's awesome. It's cool seeing how fast he's blown up and just being an awesome, like, just genuine kind of nice guy. So definitely deserves that credit that he's getting. And now he's got his pilot, right? So he's got some show that he's doing now. He hasn't really talked about it much. I'm guessing he's probably can't talk too much about it. I don't know. I'm not really sure what the show is. He's talked about a few people who are going to be on it. I didn't write those down, so I can't tell you who it is. So go watch his podcast instead and find out who those people are. But yeah, I don't know. That's awesome. Man, Theo, he's really just blowing up. He's got a lot of shit going on for him. A lot of good stuff going on. But yeah, so during the podcast, though, there was another film crew there filming Howie and Theo. I guess they're filming a documentary on the Comedy Store. And it must be like this is how it started. And these are like the old timers who like made it big, who are famous now, like Howie and, you know, Joe Rogan and people like that. And then now here's the new age group of like young guys who are blowing up out of the Comedy Store. So I'm sure they're following Theo and Chris D'Elia and I don't know, who knows who else. There's so many people that go there. It's impossible to keep track of everybody. And it really is crazy. Like, I know it's become like a huge meme to just like talk about, oh, how great is the Comedy Store right now because of Schwab and Rogan, who won't stop talking about that. But it really does seem like a great time because you have all those older comedians who are still killing it. And then now you have all these new, there's just so many new comedians coming up now too, that there's like too much comedy. Like there's too many people doing it now that are like so good. Like you can't keep track of who everybody is. I mean, I look up comedy shows and local in Seattle to me, and they'll be playing at like the big theaters. And I'm just like, I don't know who this person is. How are they playing at a theater? You look them up on like Instagram, they have millions of followers. Like I've never heard of this comedian before, and they're huge. They're just massive. So yeah, it's crazy how big. You don't really realize if you just watch these comedy podcasts, because like most people stay within like their group, right? Like if you watch Theo, you probably watch Fighting the Kid. You probably watch Andrew Santino. You probably watch like Your Mom's House or Bert Kreischer and Joe Rogan, you know, and maybe like a few other comedy podcasts. Maybe not, and maybe Tiger Belly, you know, and that's like 5 comics, you know, and dude, there's more than 5 comics who play at the Comedy Store each night. So, or just in one room. So yeah, it's crazy just how big it really is, and I guess I don't realize it because I'm not part of it. I don't live there, but yeah, I don't know where the fuck I'm going with that, you know. Let's get into some fucking video clips because this episode was so funny. Let's get back on topic. Fucking Howie just going hard, just brutal on Theo though here.
No, but I love you. Very rarely listen to these podcasts where the guest is here and the host is here, and the host goes, "What can we talk about? Let me think of something fun. You know, it's weird because I was on Twitter yesterday." And you were saying, send me questions. What do you want me to ask Howie? What do you want me, if you have anything that you're interested in about Howie Mandel, send it that way because he's on my podcast tomorrow. And here I am 5-10 minutes into your podcast. Number one, there hasn't been one question from a listener, so nobody sent you anything. Wait. And not only that, you didn't prepare anything. No. So you are sitting there 5 minutes in going, oh, God, what can we talk about? I don't know. Nobody had any ideas. Nobody's interested.
He goes, I can't keep playing this whole clip. He goes on forever just clowning all over fucking Theo about not being prepared and just like winging it. But like he's doing it in like a funny manner and like he's not being mean about it. Which is like the difference between what you see with him and like a lot of other comics who just like they want to make jokes, but they want to be like mean about it. You know, like that whole like Andrew Santino, right? Like he just like he'll be like funny and like to like clown on somebody, but it's like in a way where like he puts on like this aggressive like act. You know, it's just like it seems like they all kind of stole it from Chris D'Elia because a lot of them do it, but Chris is kind of like the original one who would do the like mean like asshole thing, like where you like just shit on somebody else in like a playful manner, but being like aggressive about it. Everybody kind of just stole it from Chris D'Elia. Whereas like then you get other comics who are just like able to do it but they're just nice. They're like funny and like easygoing about it, like Howie. I sound like such a fucking fanboy about what this dude too. But Howie, he doesn't stop there. He keeps going on clowning on people.
He's heartbroken.
Guy's Voldemort.
Is he heartbroken? He's just sitting in his bed at night with a comforter. He didn't even turn on the light for the fucking question.
Because of the depression.
Some dude called in from like his bed, or like not called in, but made a video submission asking. I don't remember what the question was. I didn't go back far enough to look. And but he submits a question, whatever, and he's just laying in bed. The light's off. You can't really see shit. And Howie just shits all over the guy for like putting zero effort into making the video. He just doesn't give a fuck. And then one last Howie clip, and I'll stop because I could keep going and going and going, and I won't because then this video is going to be way too long. I already rambled enough. So here we go.
I would eat myself, and I would take bites out of shit that won't kill me. I would start with I would just eat my leg. I would just eat like so. I'd
something
eat,
local,
just whatever I could reach, and I would just take bites out of myself.
Yeah,
I would eat myself.
Would you?
I would, because be honest, and I don't know this. I think I'm tasty.
Yeah,
I do. I
feel
like
that.
I feel like
the
I'm
backstrap.
How are we talking about how tasty he is and eating himself? I think that's funnier than Theo talking about eating a Vietnamese man when he was fasting. All right. Well, they're both hilarious, so it's hard to say. But like Theo prepared that joke, whereas Howie just made that up on the spot. You know, like that's kind of the difference, I think, right? Like Theo has those hilarious jokes that are like, because they're both able to be really funny, Theo and Howie, which I think is what makes them so good together in this podcast. That they're both able to be really funny, but without being like mean. You know, like they're able to like make fun of each other and shit like that and just be funny, off the cuff funny, but like without being mean to each other. It sounds like such a bitch pussy thing, you know, whatever. I don't know, but like there's an obvious noticeable difference in like being able to be funny without like, and still be like making fun of somebody, but without it being mean. Like you have to be actually good. You have to be really talented, I feel like, at comedy to be able to shit all over somebody and not sound like you're being mean about it. You know? I don't know. It's just like it's more finesse, I guess. Something that I probably just comes with. It just comes with experience. I don't know. Howie's like 80, so you know, I guess he figured that out. But all right, I won't do any more Howie clips. I probably just have that. I don't know. I must be that bald man connection that we got going on. That I've just got a man crush on him or something. Because I thought this podcast was so good. I thought I've never seen Howie outside of like doing like TV shows where, you know, like the Deal or No Deal thing, and he just seemed like the biggest douchebag ever. Like, not funny. Like, all of his jokes on those shows are just corny as fuck. I'm like, wait, this guy was supposed to be like a comedian or something? Like, who the fuck would go see him? He's so lame, you know? But it's just all scripted. So, like, somebody else wrote all that shit, I'm assuming. Because when you see him on here, he's hilarious. And then you see him on TV and you're like, this guy is a fucking dork, man. What the fuck? And you're a germaphobe? But then you see him on here, and he's hilarious, and also he's a germaphobe, but he's gonna eat himself. That's hilarious. I just realized that. That's hilarious. I wish Theo would have thought of that and fucking talk shit to him about that. But I don't know. That's all I got. I really wish there was a new King of the Sting out when I made this video. It's been a whole week since they posted a video, but I'm not gonna wait any longer because I slacked on making videos for a while, so I want to get some shit out. So I'll be back with another video on the latest King of the Sting. Once that comes out, give you the full rundown of all of my shitty opinion that nobody wants to hear, or the 5 people who click on the video will see.
Is that where you were going to mail your testicles
That was
to?
America.
Can you imagine being up in Canada and then you get like, what are these Theo Von testicles I got in the mail?
Snacking on a pair of man eggs. I could.